What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Something is very disturbing to me with this whole Tiffany Henyard situation. And for me, that is with Mr. Keith Freeman. Now, Keith Freeman, we know, is a village administrator and a municipality manager of Dolton Township. Positions in which we know he should have never acquired based on his own personal criminal record, okay? That is one thing. But the fact that he has two salaries from two different jobs in which he doesn't do well is also another thing, because he lied about that and the federal government has outed him on it, okay? But now I want to discuss something else. The fact that Keith Freeman has been aiding and abetting Tiffany Henyard in almost every illegal scam, lies that she has been involved in. That's the problem for me. He has been involved in every scam. He's the right-hand man. But now people in the city are rejoicing that he's been arrested.
Cheryl, Keith Freeman is facing a federal charge, but he is not, we're told, by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Chicago in federal custody tonight. But people here at Dolton Village Hall say they haven't seen him either since word of that indictment dropped just a few hours ago.
The man responsible for running the day-to-day in neighboring South suburban communities is now under federal indictment. Federal prosecutors say Keith Freeman, the village administrator in both Dolton and Thornton Township, repeatedly lied when he filed for bankruptcy earlier this year. The indictment says it was in part his title and salary in Dolton that was central to Freeman's lies to the feds. Dolton trustees say Freeman's position at Village Hall has been a question for some time.
It was a lot of controversy on whether or not he was an employee or if he was contracted. Now they're saying that he didn't list this information, so that's a problem.
In the indictment, prosecutors say Keith Freeman, quote, made several false statements and omissions in the document, including knowingly underreporting income from his employment as both the village administrator for Dolton and the municipality manager for Thornton Township. And prosecutors say Freeman lied under oath, claiming, quote, he was not an employee of Dolton and that he did not receive a payment from Dolton. A month later, the indictment says his Dolton paycheck went directly into an undisclosed bank account.
And if he can't handle his own business, how in the world can he handle ours?
Freeman has been a close ally of embattled Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Longtime residents and frustrated leaders of Dolton say this federal fraud charge against Administrator Keith Freeman is a relief.
You know, we've been waiting for some justice to be served.
At the next board meeting, if he show up, I'll ask him to step down again because he's an embarrassment to this community.
We have repeatedly tried to reach Keith Freeman by phone over the past few hours, but all of those calls have gone directly to voicemail. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Chicago says Freeman will be scheduled for an arraignment before a federal judge at a future date.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.
But now, here's something else that you may not have known. Remember when Tiffany Henyard and the village of Dolton received a lawsuit because of what happened in Las Vegas? I bet you guys don't even remember that Keith Freeman is the one who said this.
Through a PR company, I did hear back from the village administrator, Keith Freeman. He says in a statement, quote, this is just another example of a few trustees in the village of Dolton spreading lies and false allegations. These are the same trustees that cut the public safety budget by $3.8 million, eliminated the bond for garbage removal, and have charged over $5 million in frivolous lawsuits that the Dolton taxpayers are stuck with the tab. The residents deserve better than this circus.
That's right. He's the one that does all the dirty work, okay? He does all the dirty work. Tiffany Henyard doesn't respond, he responds. But now that he's in the grinder, check this out.
The U.S. attorney accuses Freeman of concealing assets and incomes from his creditors. He faces up to 5 years in prison if convicted. We reached out to Freeman and various Dolton officials, but have not yet heard back.
You hear that? Now the village has refused to respond. Now this is very interesting. When people are coming against the village, you're out there, Mr. Freeman, saying that these people are lying on the village. Now, when it's your ass charged with fraud in federal court, you don't have anything to say. Now, I want to go back to the former chief of staff who had a particular outing after she quit from Tiffany Henyard. She was thoroughly disrespected by Tiffany Henyard. I want you to see what kind of person Keith Freeman is. So as you see, Keith Freeman is a real asshole. And then the problem I'm going to come back to is how did he get there? Okay? Because I know that some of the brothers and the trustees that watch this channel, y'all not going to like this. But I do want to target those who ran with her. That would have been Mr. Jason House. That would have been Kiana Belcher. People who I do like, and people can make mistakes. But the ownership will be on you going forward. And the reason why I keep talking about that is because Dolton has historically in the last 25 to 30 years had all kinds of problems, okay? Water bill problems. Problems also with the fire hydrants like this, okay? So this was even before Tiffany Henyard was running for mayor, okay? You had Andrew Holmes running for mayor in Dolton when he didn't even live in Dolton. How did that even happen? So the issue is the fact that she was able to bring this guy in would have never happened if she was never elected mayor based on her behavior as a trustee. Where is the accountability for those people? Okay? Because we're going to elect one person as the mayor who ran on her ticket, which I understand that and he's a good brother. I don't know the guy, but you know, those guys like Edward Steve, Jason House, those are brothers in the black community that I have a lot of respect for, but I got to be an honest critic. Because Mr. Edward Steve, my brother was not on that ticket. I'm talking about those who were on the ticket. So the question is, when she is gone, what will y'all say then? Because people are already looking at the Lori Lightfoot hiring, people not happy with that. And then going forward, Dolton will always be looked at after you get over this. What decisions will you make for the rest of your career? Dolton will always be on the map. Always. Dolton will always be on the map now. Always. So you're going to be heavily scrutinized. Are you ready for that? Who will you blame after Henyard? And I'm a betting man. I'm going to say Dolton is going to go through similar issues as they have did before Henyard because of the decision making with the city as a whole. Okay? Not as bad, but things must change. Things must change. So that is the issue. That is the issue. Because if she was never elected in the first place, we wouldn't be here. So we need to be responsible going forward. Okay? She was not. It would be different if she did a military coup into the position. Thornton Township, the guy Chris Gonzalez took accountability for what he did. Fine. Okay? But without her becoming the mayor, we would not be here. And I'm going to keep saying it. I know people don't like that. But it's better. But prevention is better than diagnosis. What will Dolton prevent in the future? So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shady Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Pretty sure for all of you, subscribe to the bell. We're out.